be prepared. Don't worry about the forecast.
That's right.
At least the long-term forecast. You can't sweat those out.
You can't sweat it out, baby. Hey, you hear us talk a lot about the warm Gulf waters and the temperature of the ocean waters having a lot to do with hurricanes on the East Coast.
Intensification, overrated.
Probably overrated.
Yeah.
But in the West Coast, it's not overrated at all.
Nope.
Here's why.
Hurricanes hitting the U.S. Pacific coast are extremely rare. Why is that? Well, one reason is the steering currents. The general east to west flow of the winds usually carry tropical storms and hurricanes out into the open waters. Then there's the matter of the water temperature.
We have a cold California current off the coast of California that comes down from the north, and that California current spreads out cold water. So any hurricane that's coming up toward California typically dies or weakens dramatically before it ever gets to the California coast.
And stable sinking air also plays an important role. Now, it's not impossible to have a hurricane to hit California. It's just not likely. What's more likely is to feel the effects of storms that are hundreds of miles away in the form of high waves and rip currents.
So no hurricanes on the West Coast, but there's a part of the world where it is warm all the time.
And you can get a typhoon any time of the year, basically.
Where would that be?
That would be the Western Pacific. Let's
have
head
a
there
look.
now. We got Typhoon U2, and it's on the move, but it is making a turn away from Asia, away from Japan, Okinawa. Water is going to be chilly ahead of it, so it's going to weaken dramatically in the next day or so. But right now, sustained winds 145 miles an hour. Is moving northeast at 14. So the combination of the cold water, as we just talked about, as Jim talked about on the west coast of the U.S. with the cold current, and the wind shear, as we often discuss as we get into the meat of the hurricane season. Too much wind aloft. Tropical systems don't like that. It kind of tears apart at the old engine, the heat engine, the machine. So this is going to weaken quite a bit before it gets to Iwo Jima. So that is promising news. Now on Florida's east coast, where you often deal with tropical weather, nothing to be concerned with. We had one subtropical storm a couple weeks ago, which we were hoping would bring some rain to the fire areas. That didn't happen. We had rip current issues then. We still have some rip currents with a high to the north, but beautiful weather with all due respect to the fire situation and the smoke. I mean, in the southeast, you can't beat this weather. 75 to 85, low humidity, comfortable at night. That's not sticky and steamy. But there are small craft advisories, so watch out. If you're a small boat, you may want to think twice about heading out of port. This is National